Hi guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. I almost ruined dinner. I forgot. I just forgot. I was editing this video a little bit. Not a lot. I don't do it a lot. And I forgot my dinner was in the oven. And these mashed potatoes are a religious experience. But don't worry, I remembered at the last second and everything's fine. Okay, so we get a lot of improbable cause hearings and things like that. We get a lot of times where the lawyers say, we have competency issues. We have competency issues with this person, and we can't go forward. And then that's it. We don't normally hear any more about any of it. So in Colorado, they have the competency court. And what happens is the criminal case gets moved to a special court with a special judge. And once it's in this court, it's no longer about punishment or the crime or anything. It's about the mental health of that one person. Now, we always remember what crime the person committed. So if it was like an assault, they're treated as someone who committed an assault throughout competency. So it's not like everything is forgotten, but the criminal case is sort of put on the back burner, and then everybody's on deck to help this person get the help they need. And they have tons of tools and resources for mental health in this competency court. And it's not often they play it, so it's very rare that they play the competency court. So I got it this week, and we're going to see the other side. This is it's a real court. It's a real judge. They're dealing with the real crimes. But this judge is very special because she only deals with people with mental health issues. So she's not like any other judge you've ever seen. You're going to see her speak very soft and quiet because she keeps everything as stable as possible. She may look like she's a pushover because she allows some things, but she's very stern because these people have to follow the rules that she puts down. So she's very stern, and she will take away privileges like that if they don't take their medicine, if they don't go to their meetings. So we're going to see competency court is sort of like, it's like boring and then a slap. Boring and then an uppercut. They come out of nowhere. And it's competency court. So who knows what they're going to say. It's Susan Blanco, Judge Blanco. I really, really, really love her. Here we go.
Well, I remember this was our small miracle that you had a parole opportunity that never happens. And it sounds like it's pretty in the works here. So I need to give you some good kudos. You're doing really great with working with Dr. Ziegler. The plan that you have with Dr. Ziegler regarding your medicine and your wellness, you're adhering to it 100% of the time. And you have no behaviors at the jail. And because you are stabilized on your medicine, you are acceptable, it sounds like, to be able to move you to the work release program, and parole is willing to go down this path with us. And so, Mr. Rockwell, when you're on your medicine and you're taking care of yourself and you're doing well, all this fruit comes with it because you're really awesome when you're stable and doing well. You're not the same version of yourself when you're not taking your medication consistently and sober. So I love seeing this side of you. I want to see you be successful. And it looks like there might be a plan for a move to work release. But my question is there need to be a modification regarding bond to get there, Ms. Bowen?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe there needs to, and I did not bring my file with me. I didn't get to the office. I'm not sure what the bond is, but we certainly need to modify it in whatever way that the court does that to go to work release. We also then need to order outpatient restoration. And I believe the date that they are hoping to move him to work release is Monday. the 20,
Okay.
the 17th.
Yes, that's
Monday.
what I have too, is at 9 o'clock in the morning. Prosecution, one of these cases is already a PR bond. The other is 150 cash, and that's in the 1044. What's your position?
Thank you, Your Honor. First, neither of these cases are VRA, so we are okay to address bond today. Given that we already have a low cash bond, I do not object to modifying that to a PR bond with the condition that he go to the work release program, follow the rules of the work release program.
But we don't have a plan for him. We do have a plan for him. Thank you. That's okay. All right, Mr. Rockwell, you signed this plan, so I'm going to go over it with you now. If I modify your bond, you're telling me that you're going to stay at work release, follow all of their rules. Is that accurate? You'll take your classes with Summit Stone and meet with Summit Stone. You'll keep in contact with Nick and Madeline, who works with you in comp services.
Absolutely.
Okay. Your pretrial services was enhanced. You were not supposed to have and cannot have any contact with Margaret Smith, Acree, El Palomino Hotel, or Adrian Pacheco. Is there any reason why there would need to be contact with those folks?
No, Your Honor.
You may not use drugs, alcohol, or recreational marijuana, and you need to be law-abiding. Can you do that?
Yes, I can.
And will you take all your medicines as prescribed by your doctor?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so the court is going to adopt those as conditions of the bonds in both of the cases and convert this to outpatient restoration. 24 CR 1044 will convert to a PR bond at this time in the same amount. All of these terms and conditions adopted in both cases. I'll sign this plan and give you a copy of it, Mr. Rockwell. And you'll be releasable on Monday. It will be at 9 o'clock in the morning to the competency court staff to help walk you over to work release. You got to follow all those work release rules. But if you do that, I've seen a lot of people where when they're doing well at work release, then it opens doors for them for like sober living homes and other options. So even if it gets tough, I would really encourage you to keep your eye on your long-term goal of being in the community and finding a stable place to live in the community.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Well, let's come back and check back in. Ms. Bowen, I have Magistrate Clark covering the docket on April 3rd. Could we check in perhaps at 2:30?
Can we do, I don't know.
1:30?
1:30 or 2.
Let's do 1:30 because 2 is already kind of busy.
Okay.
1:30 on the 3rd of April. All right. Do well, Mr. Rockwell.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. You too, sir. Let me pivot back to.
It's really important that she keeps everything stable because the tiniest things trigger people in this courtroom.
The Joanne Dodero matter, 22M3339, 24M2367, 22M792, 24M1134, present as counsel. Do we have Mr. Loera here? Okay. Can you wait for just a moment for us?
I am available, Your Honor.
Let's see if he comes. And in the meantime, I did have the mobile unit on, and Deputy, are you still there with Mr.
Yes, Your Honor.
Long? You had Mr. Long, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Danny Long, 24M2873, 24M2406, is in custody, appearing virtually from our jail. Mr. Long, I do want you to know that your lawyer, Ms. Lowry, is here as your counsel, and Mr. Oxmacher is here on behalf of the District Attorney's Office. And there was an evaluation that did come back, and I'm going to check in with your lawyer to see if I can adopt that. Ms. Lowry?
Yes, Your Honor. I did have a chance to meet with Mr. Long.
Most of the evaluations that they talk about are not competency evaluations. A lot of the classes that these people have to go through is how the court system works. They can't help in their own defense until they understand how everything works. So they do a lot of court classes. And once they understand how the court system works and they're done with the classes, then they can proceed. It has nothing to do with competency. I mean, there's competency involved, and there's also competency evaluations. But when you hear her say, I got an evaluation back, we don't know which evaluation that is right now.
I am prepared to ask the court to adopt the findings that Mr. Long is competent to proceed. We do have a plea agreement that would involve credit for time served on one of the cases and closing the other matter. It does need to have VRA and paperwork.
Okay.
He would then be released into parole's custody after this case is concluded. I didn't know if the court would be willing to keep it on your docket for one disposition, and I don't know how much time the district attorney needs for VRA.
Your Honor, I think just a standard 2 weeks will be fine.
So just shy of 2 weeks is the docket of the 26th. It is pretty gnarly, but I'm wondering if we can maybe handle it at 3:30 in the afternoon on the 26th. Sounds like it should be relatively brief.
Okay.
Will that work, counsel?
Do you have 3:30? Do you have anything earlier in the afternoon or during the day? If not,
I can, hang on a second. I can set it 3.
3 would be
Better?
That'd be great.
3 o'clock on the, actually, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong day of the week. Hold on a second. The public defenders already have 5 people coming at 3 that day. That's what the whole afternoon looks like because we don't have a docket next week.
And I assume I'm here at 11:30 with Matthew Montgomery. I'm assuming that's a little
We
busy
have
for you already.
5 people at 11:30. We've stacked the docket pretty tight. The only reason I suggested maybe 3:30 is because I have a sentencing set for 1 hour by itself. And I thought if I go a little bit late that it might.
That's fine. I'll ask if I can have some assistance
You'll
with
have
coverage.
Ms.
Also, when they say, when she says I have a docket, she's talking about a regular docket. She has regular dockets and mental health dockets.
Rami's usually here. I don't think it's shifted
Thank
to
you,
Mr.
Jamie.
Goldstein yet.
Okay.
Thank you,
That's
Jamie.
fine.
All right, I'll see you here March 26th at 3:30 for disposition. Mr. Long, great job with taking your medication. You take 2 medications 100% of the time. The other one's not, but please try to keep up your wellness. You do not want to go backwards. We don't want to see you having to go back to any sort of care at the hospital. I really want to see you be successful. So you need to take that wellness piece of it very seriously. If there's an issue with medication and you want to meet with Dr. Z, do that, but don't adjust your meds on your own, please. I'll see you on the 26th at 3:30. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
So I'll be released to parole, so I'm going to Denver County?
Not yet. So when you come to court on March 26th, it sounds like there's an agreement. And if you enter the agreement, then you would be released to parole. But because it's a victim's rights case, you can't enter the agreement today.
Okay, so I will be released from here?
So on March 26th, if you are taking the plea agreement, you're held until parole picks you up, is my understanding.
Yes.
And Mr. Long, your mom is moving here on March 24th, so she'll be here in person for that date. So that's good.
Thank you, Ms. Lowry. I failed. I will adopt the finding that he is competent to proceed at this time and make sure that's on our record, and we'll be ready for the disposition. It's 1 day shy of 2 weeks. Will it work for you, Mr. Oxlonger?
It will, yes.
Okay. All right. Excellent. We'll see you back March 26th at 3:30. You're welcome.
Okay.
And
So far, so good. So far, it's nice and easy.
should we call Jameson Hosa now?
So wait for his wife, just one.
Okay, 24M1490, 24M5444. Mr. Hosa is present before the court. He is in custody. Mr. Landers is here as counsel for Mr. Hosa. Hi, Mr. Hosa.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm ecstatic. This is the first time I've seen my kid in 4 months. So
Oh, that's good. Well, I'm glad that your kids are here. And they're very dressed nicely and behave so nicely. One is even in a bow tie today. And so that's great that you're still inmate worker and you're helping out. So what is your job that you're doing again?
I'm a baker of the 3 a.m. kitchen crew.
So what do you bake?
I bake all like the cornbreads and the muffins and the cakes and pretty much anything that's bread.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So
I've recently moved into like the 1 percentile of the jail with a single cell too.
okay, wonderful. You're doing a nice job in the circumstances that you're in. And I think we were trying to figure out some cases out of Weld County. And so he has a start date right on the 19th.
That's correct. He was accepted as a start date that he'd very much like to do on the 19th.
Is he anywhere else that we need to wait for? Or are we good?
Well, so he does have Weld County.
Okay.
In Weld County, I've been in close contact with the public defender there who's filed motions for PR bonds
Okay.
that are pending. He anticipates those will be granted this Friday,
Okay.
which is when they have the return to court date there.
Okay. So he actually will be in front of a judge that day.
I believe that's correct. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, next Friday.
Maybe virtual, right?
Yes.
No, this tomorrow, I believe.
Tomorrow, the 14th.
Yeah, and then I have court tomorrow and on Monday, I believe. We're both virtual.
Both for Weld County?
Yeah.
We have 2 different judges?
Yep.
Okay.
And so where we're at is we're for the court, we're not quite there in terms of an official word of PR bonds in Weld, but
But the DA is in agreement with them in Weld, or you?
that's my understanding.
Okay.
His wife, Kelly, who's here today, is the victim in those cases.
Okay.
And it sounds like the DAs have reached out to her about the PR bonds as well, as my understanding. So everything's looking good. We just don't have that official
Okay.
word yet.
All right.
And so
Is it possible for the court in this case, I've never done this before, but if there's a modification of these bonds to make it the order to go directly into STIR, to successfully complete STIR, and I just don't want him to get moved to Greeley while we're waiting to get his STIR, but here's the only thing I'm trying to figure out how to logistically work around that. But that the bond modification would only go into effect once he signs PR bonds in Weld.
I think that would be one way to do it. I know it's always tricky with figuring out Weld, but we're hopeful that things will work out on Friday with the case. But I can't guarantee that.
The stranger things I do, the more likely they won't work when he's at the jail. But if I say PR bond only if he posts the PR bonds in Weld and goes straight to STIRT, I wonder if the booking department of the jail will understand what we're trying to do.
I don't know if it'll work, but I don't object to trying it.
Okay. You're VRA for me to do that?
We are.
Okay. You have a plan?
Yeah, I will. I'm in close contact with the public defender, and so if that gets converted over,
Do you have an outpatient plan though?
he doesn't have the eval done yet.
No, the eval's not done yet. Okay.
I mean, Your Honor, I have my own plan without the eval though.
Okay. What's your plan?
Well, they have a pretty prestigious program in the tablets called Edwin's Culinary and Hospitality, and it's like a 38 module course. And, I smoked it, and I've been in contact with them, and they want to fly me to Cincinnati to go do 6 months of schooling there, and then another additional year of managerial training
Okay.
for kitchen work. And but in the meantime, I'm going to do STIRT and then do Harvest Farms. And I've been in contact with them since November. My wife just got off the phone with them this morning. So that's my plan in the interim.
Okay. Mr. Hosa, I usually don't like when someone says I smoked it in front of the court. This is the exception to that comment. that you did so well on the tablet and in the program. That's wonderful. Court at this time is going to modify I will modify. Did I order the evaluation to be completed?
Evaluation was ordered. Evaluations were also ordered as well.
He was interviewed. We're just waiting for the actual report.
I don't think he's.
No, I haven't even been interviewed. There's been a doctor assigned from last to my knowledge, but I have not been interviewed.
All right, but Emily can help maybe work that piece out. So is the weld evaluation in custody evaluation, or can it be?
It was ordered in custody, but
So that needs to be shifted as well,
correct. And that's going to be addressed on Friday too.
and Monday.
And Monday, yes.
Good. Court at this time is going to modify the bonds to a personal recognizance bond in the same amount on each of these cases. I don't have one of those sheets of paper, so you're going to have to bear with me for one moment.
So I don't know his crimes were, but she's giving him a PR bond, but he's not allowed to leave. She's giving him a PR bond to go to CERT or go to work release or go somewhere else where he'll still be supervised.
Because I just need to take a look at the original bond conditions. So 1 second. Conditions of the bond are he must have already posted the Wells County PR bond before he can post these two cases. He is to remain law abiding.
Yeah, and I can post this from the Willamette County Jail, right?
So I'm not going to let you post them till the Weld County cases are posted.
I don't know. Can I post the Weld County from the
Yes.
Willamette County Jail? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Give me one moment. So you were told you cannot have guns or ammunition.
Yes.
That is still in effect as conditions of this case. And has he done a relinquishment of the firearms affidavit, Mr.
I
Sanders?
believe he did in the trial division courtroom.
Yeah.
That was before I.
Okay, perfect. Continue with the no contact order remaining 50 yards from the victim and their residence. No contact except through talking parents, written and electronic contact regarding the kids, but it has to be through talking parents. Again, no firearms, weapons, or ammunition. Releasable on the 19th of March at 9 a.m. to the competency team to be moved to STIRT to successfully complete the STIRT program.
I think he's asking if he's going to go to jail if he talks to her on the phone. He's not allowed to talk to her at all.
I'm sorry, I can't help it. I can hear what you're saying.
Oh.
Because there's a microphone there. So it's been modified to allow to have contact while you're at the jail. And you're wondering if that continues while you're at work release?
Yes, ma'am.
Or at STIRT, Mr. Landers, is the contact video visits or is it?
I don't know what STIRT allows in that regard, but I know that obviously Kelly is here and I believe would like any, degree of contact that the court would authorize so they can coordinate with the children.
Is that accurate? Is that accurate?
Yeah, I don't know what he said.
Oh,
What?
I'm just asking about.
Hello, Victoria. Page 15.
The phone conversation.
Victoria?
Have been going really, really well.
Oh, by telephone, it's okay?
Yes, the kids are doing much better. And
Good.
I don't know what STIRT will do either, but I mean, it would be nice to be able to have like in-person visits if STIRT allows it, just so they can wrap their hands around that. That would be great, but
Court is going to continue the telephone contact that has already been modified to extend to while at STIRT. Prosecution, any objection to allow in-person contact while at STIRT?
No objection.
In-person contact with the alleged victims will be allowed while at STIRT. There's this inherent safety built into that because that is housed within the community corrections program. When you come out of STIRT, that doesn't continue unless the court issues a new order. So just be careful. But my hope is, and this is what I'm going to say to you, when you go to STIRT, I need you right away to be very engaged with Emily and looking for where you're going to transition to, because STIRT is going to be over in 21 days.
Yep.
And it will go fast.
Yep.
And Harvest Farm is awesome and sober living options are awesome, but we have to start planning now for that day. Does that make sense?
Yeah, Emily's been an absolute godsend for me. She's put me in for several agencies, I guess you could say, most the brain injury stuff and the vocational rehabilitation stuff. So I'm super glad I got connected with her.
Okay, I'm going to get us a new court date here, and I'm not totally sure when to reset the court date to, Mr. Landers, just to make sure things are moving along swimmingly. I just don't want them to not have a transition plan, and the work release is kind of where we catch folks so they're not out on the sidewalk, and I don't want him going from STIRT to nothing.
You can't have any meatloaf, Donald, so you use breadcrumbs in meatloaf, and the glue that holds the breadcrumbs together is eggs. I used eggs.
Should I bring him back earlier? What do you want me to do?
I think, I'll defer to the court on the timing, but a couple of weeks down the road, we know where he'll be for STIRT, and I know Emily will work diligently, and his wife has been in contact with Harvest Farm, so.
Let's do March 27th at 3:00, just to check in. He can be virtual if he wants to at that time. I'm looking for a plan of where he's going to go when STIRT is ending. I'll be very open-minded if it looks like it's Harvest Farm, but I want to know where you're going, and so I'll see you in 2 weeks. We'll keep our eyes on kind of where you're going to be more after you come out of STIRT, okay? It's really awesome aftercare, but I want you to be in a stable place to be able to engage in it, okay? All right, kids, you did great. And I'm very happy that you were here today and got to see your dad. He's working hard, making lots of baked goods and learning the recipes so he can eventually make them for you too, okay? All right, we'll have everyone back in 2 weeks. Okay? All right.
Thank you.
I am.
You're welcome.
All right, guys, now it goes downhill. The rest is all downhill.
Is Demetria Loera here? We will let you know. Thank you for waiting as long as you did. Becker, the court in custody, appearing virtually from our jail, and he's behind a pretty hefty steel door there. And Ms. Lowry is here as your counsel, Mr. Abeda. So is Mr. Krenning. He's also here to help assist. And I have Mr. Oxbacher here on behalf of the DA's office. And I'm proud of you that you're taking your medication voluntarily. I'd love to see you eventually not in the high security unit. That's a hard unit to be in when there's yelling and other things that are going on. I've been up there and I understand all of that, but I want you to do your best and behave at your best, because my hope is that maybe at some point you don't have to be in that area of the jail, which is so much better for so many reasons for you. But you're doing a nice job of engaging and taking your medicine. This is a tier 1A inpatient restoration. And Isaac, do you have an update as to when we will hopefully see Mr. Abeda moved?
Yes, Your Honor. Same as last one.
Okay.
No update on last week.
Okay. Now, she doesn't like this, guys. She just asked the prosecutor when this guy is going to get out of high security into like Gen Pop or something better. And the prosecutor said to her, no update. It's the same as last time. There's no update. Ready? Here we go.
Nothing has changed.
At this time, the court will set this matter for a show cause hearing March the 27th at 11:30 in the morning for the state to show cause as to why they should not be held in contempt of court for their violations of Colorado law.
Oh, she's show causing the state. She's like, okay, you're going to be held in contempt of court.
And Ms. Lowry, I think you'll already be here, Mr. Crenning. Okay. Should be a fun morning. You might want to be here. All right, and so we will all be here at 11:30. Mr. Abeda, I want you to receive the best care that you can. The state has a responsibility to provide that to you, and I want to make sure that we're not asleep at the wheel. We're going to make sure that we do everything we can to help you get access to the care that you deserve. Anything else, Ms. Lowry?
She does not want to see anyone stuck in high security because it's hell there. She's nailing them all.
No, just that I have had a chance to speak with Mr. Abeda's mom. She's very supportive. She's probably logged on, watching on the live stream now. And Mr. Abeda, I did make the calls to the Loveland Municipal. Those cases will be dismissed, and we'll be talking again soon. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you that your mom is here. It sounds like Mr. Abeda. Keep up your good work. I'm going to see you on the 27th at 11:30. Certainly, it might be virtual, but I'll still look forward to your participation. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
That's not the voice I expected with that man.
Ms. Lowry, may I call Ms. Dixon's case?
I believe that is her. Yes.
Court calls Marie Dixon, 24 CR 216, who's called in by telephone. Ms. Dixon, your lawyer, Ms. Lowry, is here in the courtroom, and I have Mr. Oxmacher here on behalf of the people. Can you hear me okay?
Hi, dearest Judge Susan Blanco. This is Dr. and Reverend Marie. I do not go by the name of Dixon, and I'm pleading not guilty. I even have evidence police that told Ms. McCarthy that they would not charge me with anything and that she was mistaken. And I would like to forward that to you if I could find a way to do that. And in December, the third week of December, you told Ms. Lowry and I that you saw there was no reason to keep this case open and that you were closing and dismissing this case in entirety, as I am a good, competent, innocent doctor and ordained reverend of God, and I would never do anything wrong to anybody. I have been falsely accused, and the officers told Ms. McCarthy they would not charge me with anything because she was wrong, and she only had a couple of blocked calls on her phone, and I was never in Loera County. I never saw Ms. McCarthy. I never spoke to her, and I ask that this case comes to completion and is dismissed and closed in entirety because I am a good, innocent citizen. I have never done a single thing wrong to anybody. I love everyone. I pray for everyone. I thank you, Judge Susan Blanco and Ms. Lowry. And for some reason, Lindsay closed the competency restoration a couple of weeks ago, and she was always canceling them. I am a good person. I am innocent, and I ask that this case be dismissed in entirety today in writing.
Yes, she did.
And I am grateful to you, Susan, dear Judge Susan Blanco. I wish you a wonderful spring and year. And as to everyone in the court system, and I believe that there are a lot of people that get falsely accused, and it's actually against the commandments to bear false witness against another person and to covet on thy neighbor's property, wise or good, and to falsely accuse people that I have been falsely accused.
I'm hearing you. So hang on a second. I did approve a transcript to be prepared for you so that you can review what was said in December. So that has been approved, and that way you can go back and review it. though the court may feel like we should be visiting what direction we are going, I don't have the ability to dismiss your case in front of this court. So I did approve you to get that transcript. But I'm hearing you and I appreciate what you're saying. I cannot accept a plea today in the place that we are at right now. But as soon as you are deemed competent to proceed, you can enter the not guilty. We'll set the trial. Our barrier is you have got to take these classes, and you're right. You have been at this point discharged from the classes. So let me check in with Ms. Lowry to see kind of where things are at from her perspective. Ms. Lowry?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, the date of offense here is July 20th of 23. And so I know Ms. Dixon disputes vehemently these charges, as you've heard her say to all of us many times, but there aren't even any allegations that she's attempted contact with the protected party in now 20 months. Mr. Oxmonger and I discussed how the statute limitations for this charge would be 3 years if the prosecution were inclined to dismiss without prejudice. They would still have an additional 16 months with which to bring this prosecution with, a stern command to Ms. Dixon to comply with the protection order, because if she were to have contact with Ms. MacArthur, they could resume charges. I think that would be an excellent resolution of this matter. I know that Mr. Oxmacher has been trying to have, or has had contact with the named victim. We almost anticipated that she would be here today. I'm still hoping that he will take a look at that the deterrent effect of this prosecution has been successful. Ms. Dixon lives hundreds of miles from the protected party. There's been no allegations of any issues since the litigation or since the charges were brought. But he's not prepared to do that today. And so in the meantime, I do need to ask the court to reorder restoration. Ms. Dixon's been frustrated, and I know she shared that with the court before, of doing that work with Lindsay. But I don't want Ms. Dixon to be remanded into custody and have to wait to do this work in a hospital. I know she doesn't want to be in a hospital setting. She has a lot of activities in the community helping people. And so since the choice is either outpatient or inpatient until the DA makes a different decision or until we have an evaluation that gives us a different result, I, on Ms. Dixon's behalf, am asking the court to reorder outpatient restoration at this time.
Prosecution, any objection?
I join in the request to reorder restoration.
So granted.
And then, Your Honor, I don't see anyone, but just to confirm, we did expect Ms. MacArthur to join us today. Just to confirm she didn't turn up in the waiting room.
No, and there is usually a banner that tells me if someone's in the waiting room, and we have only rejected somebody who has allegedly claimed they are the public defender in here, and so...
Plot twist. They are a public defender.
Actually, I'm in touch with Alex Alberti from our Loveland office. It sounds like Mr. Loera showed up to the Loveland.
He's Loera is, we need the interpreter, but is now in the virtual courtroom.
Correct.
Okay.
With the assistance of the
We did not let the public defender in because we didn't recognize the name, and we've let familiar names in and had unhappy results. And so sorry about that. Please tell
The familiar name that they let in the past that had unhappy results. Donald Westerdale.
the public defender we're sorry. You may proceed, Mr. Oxmacher.
Thank you, Your Honor. With respect to the victim, Ms. MacArthur, she indicated that she attempted to appear at the last court appearance and had mic troubles and was not able to address the court.
Okay.
I did expect her here today, and I know she has
I have mic troubles too. He doesn't know the rules.
a lot of information that she would like to share with the court. In short, I believe that she has frustration about the lack of progress in this case. I don't believe that she would be in concurrence with me dismissing the case at this time.
I understand.
And so,
May I just say, though, that this case was set at 2:30, it's 3:18, and so the courtroom doors are open. Maybe she's accidentally logged into the live stream, but for sure I've not seen anyone log in, Mr. Oxmacher.
thank you. And I've been keeping an eye out. I haven't seen her name appear
Okay.
either. So my position remains that, as we discussed last time, Ms. Dixon needs to engage in restoration. And if she doesn't engage in restoration, at some point, I need to make a request to pursue other matters to facilitate that.
All right.
I was going
Ms.
to every
Dixon,
restoration, but some
I
reason
understand.
Lindsay.
All right, so I'm going to
Can I
reorder
speak?
them. No, hang on a second, please. I'm going to reorder that you go to those classes in the community. You know where to go. You're going to get a new opportunity to go. Let's go consistently. The reason you're stuck is because you're not going regularly to those classes.
I want to speak. I have
Ma'am.
checked in every time with Lindsay. She has canceled about 15 of them in writing. I have it in writing that she canceled them.
Right,
For the
so
last
I
year,
want
she
you to
spoke
go-
once. I would like to tell
Ma'am.
you what's been happening.
Ma'am, I'm going to.
I have been
I'm gonna
falsely
have to-
accused by
I
this
am
court,
going
and
to
this
ask
court
you
is
one more
failed
time
to obey the commandments of God. God will
please?
rebuke all of you for falsely accusing me. I will not be attacked as a doctor and a reverend. I am innocent. I have proof from the police department that states that they would not charge me with anything
We're
because
going
there
to be
is lack of
resetting this
evidence.
case to April 17th at 3. April 17th at 3. And you have now received the date and time we're coming back. You need to start taking the classes again. I understand your frustration. I understand what you'd like to do. The way to get there is to go to the classes, and I will hear from you on the 17th of April at 3. All right?
Okay, can I ask the court, and you, Miss Dearest, wonderful Judge Susan Blanco, and I thank you for helping everyone with this and being here for
No,
everyone.
you haven't.
I asked that a timeline be set that this case will be dismissed. These
Well,
restoration classes.
that's the problem. The timeline is in your hands. If you go to the classes consistently, you're helping us get to the end. But when you miss the classes or if they get canceled on you, it's delaying things. So if they try to cancel on you, you need to let us know, let Anna know immediately, because you
Back it up.
deserve to get to go to the classes so that we can get to the finish line. I want the same thing as you. Ms. Lowry wants the same thing as you. Mr. Oxmacher would like for you to also be able to give a plea and be able to set the trial, but none of us can get there if we don't have you finishing these classes. So go to the class. I'll check in with you on April 17th at 3 to see how things are going, okay?
Okay, there is a Constitution amendment that states if I was not granted a speedy trial within 30 days to 3 months, 6 or 9 months, that the case would automatically be dismissed.
So
And my
you can-
rights have been violated. And I
Ma'am, you
never
can
saw
talk
any
to,
Rosemary McArthur.
ma'am. I'm going to have to stop the proceeding at this point. Your lawyer can explain to you. I am a judicial officer and I've reviewed your case. Your constitutional rights have not been violated given the history of how this has unfolded. I'll see you on the 17th of April at 3. Thank you. Next on the list is
The next person doesn't have wind blowing. Smoke blowing, maybe, but not wind.
all 4 of those orders are now signed and issued. All right, let me call Mr. Jones's matter. Stanley Jones, 21M 1034, 23 CR 1509, 23 CR 1637, 23M 68. He's present before the court, appearing in the virtual courtroom. And I'll give you a chance, Mr. Jones, to get your camera on.
Can you see him, Your Honor?
Yes, we can see you now. And Mr. Jones, your lawyer, Mr. Landers, is in the courtroom on your behalf. And then I have Mr. Oxmacher here on behalf of the people. You're appearing from work release, doing well there, attended even one of your restoration classes, which is the only one that you've been offered so far. And you have an opportunity to go to STIRT, it looks like on Monday at 9, and then back to work release for you is my understanding of the opportunity. Whether you should be allowed to take the opportunity is kind of what we're going to be discussing today. Prosecution, does this require bond modification? And if so, are you VRA compliant? I think I furloughed him to work release. This is the case you were referring to earlier.
It is, so our.
I think this.
Yeah, I think we're okay to proceed today.
Do you need me to modify and adjust the bonds, or can I keep them on the furlough to go to work release?
So I think the preference from the work release program is that we modify it to a bond and do it that way.
And on Monday, he's not going to be at work release. You do it anyways.
And his start date is Monday. So yes, I would say authorize a bond to attend STIRT on Monday.
Okay. Are they all $100? No. So I have $100 cash bond in the 1034 case. I have a $500 cash bond in the 1637 case. And then in the 1509 matter, which I think is the VRA case, it's a $1,500 cash. And in the 68 matter, which is the DM1, I have 100 cash. Does that sound right to everyone?
Or Judge Manning.
That's correct.
So we have $2,200 cash that's supposed to be posted. And you want me to convert all of those to PR bonds, Mr. Oxmacher?
Yeah, I think if we're going to do this, that's the way that works better for the program.
Let me hear what you might be asking me to do, and then I'll see if you have an objection to it. Mr. Landers?
That is my request. Whatever will allow him, whatever mechanism will allow him to get over to the STIRT program. I think that he's done well with his transition over. The court probably heard there was some temptation when his clothes were delivered, but he handled that appropriately and did not have any type of slip up or relapse. And so I think that's a very encouraging sign about where his head's at in terms of wanting to stay on the right track and get treatment. And so I'd ask for PR bonds and authorization to go to the STIRT program.
Mr. Jones, if you're going to go to the STIRT program, and if they tell you that you're going to be done on April 8th, and then they come back and say, oh, it's actually going to be April 11th, you would have to stay until STIRT is successfully done. There's no magic date. You need to successfully complete STIRT, no matter how many days it takes. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Oxmacher, what are your thoughts?
That's pretty similar to what I discussed last time, which is that Mr. Jones, given the history, is on a very short leash in my perspective. So if the court authorizes this and there were to be any slip-ups, he should expect an immediate request to revoke that bond, and that future opportunities would be unlikely in the future from my perspective.
Court is going to modify your bond to personal recognizance bonds on the same amounts that were previously ordered, with the same conditions that were previously in place. except that you are to go on Monday at 9 o'clock, releasable to the competency team to go to STIRT. You are to successfully complete STIRT, and you may only return back to the work release program. If you leave STIRT for any reason, you are going to have a warrant. If you leave from work release, you will have a warrant. If you spend the night anywhere else between STIRT and work release and you don't immediately go back to work release, you will have a warrant. If I have not been clear in the past, I will be clear now. I am quite frankly fed up with the pattern. I'm proud of you for.
He's going to jail. She's going to put him in jail like that. She's going to.
What you're doing right now. It is my expectation that you continue to do what you have been doing, which is how you have handled things while you've been at work release. But if we start going backwards, even a scintilla, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, ma'am. Last time I saw you, you asked me what was going to be different this time, and I didn't really answer you because there ain't really no answer. I could lip sync and tell you what you want to hear, but you've already heard it. And so it's just as my actions, that's all. We'll just see how I do it. And that's the only thing I can say.
I respect it. And, I often tell people sometimes it's a time thing, right? It takes time to rebuild trust and reestablish relationships that are, in a place that are positive. I want to be open-minded and always have an open mind to the things that I think you're capable of and the opportunities that would be good for you and your sobriety and opportunities that you deserve. But, you've definitely pushed the boundaries many times, and I don't wish to be burned again by you. So follow through. But so far we're on the right track, Mr. Jones, and so keep it up. I'm going to come back and revisit the case, Mr. Landers. I'm going to trust that you are going on Monday, so I'm going to give you a little bit of time before we come back. I'd like to see you on the 17th of April. By then, you should be back at work release at 2:30. I'll have you back in court, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Honor. Thank you, Ms. Roxmore. Matt and Tracy.
Good luck, Stanley.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. He's in the courtroom. He's on bond. Ms. Loudon's here as his lawyer. Hi, Mr. Gamas. How are you?
Hey, how's it going?
I heard you're doing a lot better. Yeah. Tell me one good thing that's going on with you.
I'm sorry, what?
What's one good thing going on in your life right now?
Okay, a lot of the competency issue people we have in competency court are homeless people. There's a lot of mental health issues with homeless people, and they keep getting into jail because they get trespassed, and they keep going back to the same place over and over again.
I'm just doing my credit card.
You have a credit card?
Yeah, a credit card's on my way, so I can work my credit.
Okay.
And just not instead of doing a card credit, I'm doing just a credit card.
How's your family doing?
Doing good. I'm just working on myself, so I can get my car lower. I only have the credit card because that's so I can lower my insurances and stuff. So.
Okay. And you're still living with your mom?
Yeah.
Okay. And your relationship with your mom is.
All right. What I just said about the homeless people, hold that thought till later. I'm on the wrong person.
Good?
Yeah, it's good.
Good. Okay.
Just try to limit things, I try not to go out I go out on the streets, but I try not to go out on the streets too much because it's my exercise, and a lot of people really like my aura and my vibe, and sometimes they get a little ruckusy sometimes over there, so I just try to stay out of the way.
I like the idea of you kind of being in home. What are some things you like to do when you're in the house?
Well, I analyze psychology through film and movies.
So you watch a lot of movies?
Yeah, and I try not to I just break down what's
Court videos.
What you're seeing. What's your favorite movie?
So far, well, it hasn't came out yet. Legend of Zelda.
Okay. Kind of based on the old video game?
Yeah, and Batman and Spider-Man.
Okay. I used to have Legend of Zelda. My parents were divorced. I only had it at my dad's house, but it was like gold and shiny. It was pretty cool. Yeah, if you've ever seen it, it's pretty cool. It's very old school.
Yeah, I'm trying to basically I'm trying to get a Lamborghini, and I'm trying to get a mansion and throughout my credit score, because my credit score is going to help me get more money if I build it all the way up. So that's why.
But sometimes there are awesome, great things that we enjoy. We don't have to have those things to be happy. And you seem like a very happy person.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying I know how to work towards it.
Okay.
Because I've seen those guys in my Loveland area, and they've driven those cars, and they have talked to me spiritually, and they show me things, and it's very cool, and I just kind of take after them, and they're cool people.
Keep that relationship with your mom nice and healthy. I like that. I think that's really awesome. Miss Lowry.
And his mom is present here today. She concurs that everything is going much better. I'm here to ask the court again to reconsider ordering inpatient restoration. And I had an outpatient restoration plan to propose to the court.
Please approach. Any objections, Mr. Oxbacher?
I would ask that the current order remain in place.
When is his next medication appointment? Do you know, Mr. Gamas, when that is?
He had a shot on March 7th. I think it's once a month.
Okay.
That seems
Almost all of them get a shot once a month.
fine.
And you're going to be continuing to take it?
Yeah, I take that every.
Okay. It really helps.
I'm trying to take it right after the year after that, which they won't give me.
Yeah, but once a month, I want you to keep taking your medicine, the shot, because it makes a huge difference. Okay. You might not realize it, but kind of your aura and like the way you come across is so much better when you're on your medicine, because before you and I were not able to communicate like this. So I like it when you are in this place.
I'm just saying, like I'm like a happy. I was addicted to laughing. I'm addicted to to just fun. And a lot of guys around me, DAs, they get mad, they follow me in the bathrooms. They literally, these guys literally just are really jealous of me. I don't know why they're jealous of me, but they're jealous of me. And they don't want me getting to my certain thing in life, like a Lamborghini and a mansion, a glass mansion, and certain senators that talk to me through certain.
So give me one. Speaking of the DA, let me give him a chance to be heard too. Mr. Oxbacher.
Thank you. I've made the record several times. I would agree that Mr. Gamas is presenting better today than he has previously. I would agree that he's making fewer filings with the court.
That's true.
But as I
He's making fewer filings with the court.
hear him speak today, I also it's clear that symptoms are still present.
There haven't been any filings since February 24th. He's willing to do everything that the court has asked him
That's not really a flex, lady.
to without really any further encouragement by me. I think that the court was very successful in effectuating the behavior you see today so far. And I would hope that we could just continue on that same course.
When will this case be closed, Judge?
Well, we got a long road ahead of us. If you're taking your medicine and you're going to the classes regularly,
With the pre-trial?
well, you do pre-trial, but the classes at Summit Stone, that's what's kind of going to keep the
I've
movement.
never even heard of the classes. I don't mind.
Because they haven't been.
Oh, they haven't started yet. So yeah,
I don't
just
mind doing that. It's just like,
okay. My hesitation, Mr. Oxbacher, of not issuing the orders, he's not doing any restoration work at all.
what does that mean?
You're not taking the classes yet. I haven't ordered the classes yet. Okay. And so what I'm trying to figure out is if he's on his medication, stabilized, he's in the community, whether or not, if he's taking the classes, I can do this with him in the community versus putting him at the hospital. because he's med compliant, which is one thing I'm always worried about and know that he'll get while he's at the hospital, but he's medicine compliant. And so I'm trying to figure out what we would gain if he takes the classes there versus here. I'll hear from you one more time if you don't mind.
And I'm sure everybody realizes it, but even though it's a CR case, this is a misdemeanor.
Thank you.
I don't know that the issue is lack of education. And so I don't know that the classes are what ultimately get us to restoration. But I understand the court's perspective.
But I did get another evaluation.
Ms. Lowry. So I am going to adopt this as an outpatient restoration plan because Mr. Gamas is med compliant. If he was not med compliant, I would leave him on the tier status that he was at. But as long as Mr. Gamas, you're taking your medicine as you're being ordered to, and in a moment, I'm going to start ordering those classes. You need to go to the classes. If you do what you're supposed to do, I'm not going to move you to the hospital, but you need to be on your medicine and you need to be doing.
I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me. I'm just wondering how long will classes last?
So they last until you're able to effectively help Ms. Lowry defend you in court, and that is a determination a doctor makes a recommendation for. So you're going to get another chance to be evaluated by a doctor, but not till you've taken some of the classes, okay?
Because I was trying to make my own medicine before.
I want you to make your own medicine.
I was trying to like literally when I was trying to get myself out of the newspaper, I was literally trying to get myself out of the newspaper, get myself on medicine, and they were literally trying to not tell me to get on my medicine.
You focus on
I
me.
was trying to get on my medicine the whole time.
1 second. We're telling you you're doing a good job. So don't get upset because you're doing a good job and you're taking medicine that the doctor's prescribing to you. So kudos to you. That's a positive. That's why I'm doing the things that your lawyer is asking for me to do for you. So I'm going to order you to go to the classes. You need to go to those. You still need to do your pre-trial. You still need to be in good contact with Gordon, and you're going to continue to live at your mom's house. Don't have contact with Adam Wood. No weapons.
I don't know who that is.
Perfect. Don't have weapons, and I want you to just take all your medicine as prescribed. The minute you stop taking your medicine, I'm just telling you, all bets are off. You're going to go most likely to the hospital, okay?
Even if it went this way, or my life, or like the judge betrays me from going to the mental hospital, it doesn't bother me. All I'm just saying is that every time I'm in the community, these people really, really want me to go down. They want me to keep paying more money because they don't want me succeeding.
I can list people who want you to succeed. Gordon wants you to succeed. Ms. Lowry wants you to succeed.
What about the women out there? Those women don't want me to be. They don't want me to.
Just a second.
Listen, women never want you to succeed. They want to make fun of you because you're not succeeding. That's our whole goal in life. Our whole goal in life is just to make fun of men for not succeeding. We wake up every day and we make plans to ruin your lives. That's pretty much it.
Your mom wants you to succeed. Let's focus on all the people who love you, that are supporting you, that want to see you make it, okay? So let's try to stay focused on the positive. You were just talking about aura and energy and like all this positivity, how happy you are. Let's focus on the positive. You've got a lot of people rooting for you.
It's just kind of funny when people think it's all fake. I'm like, well, if it's all fake, then why are you guys bringing church in these groups then?
And Ms. Lowry,
It's fake.
I'm going to make a copy for Mr. Gamas of his paperwork.
Great.
And we're going to come back and revisit this case to do a check-in at 4:30 in the afternoon on April 17th, okay?
Okay.
April 17th at 4:30, okay?
Can I get the classes when I'm going to be able to do that?
Well, Summit Stone's going to give that to you, but I'm going to give you a copy of the paperwork for what your outpatient plan looks like, okay? All right. Good job. Keep it up.
Just thinking.
Okay, I got it.
Well, that was a quickie. Thank you so much for spending dinner with me. I appreciate it. I will see some of you tomorrow morning. Very, very, very early. Or still today for me. I'm still still going to be awake. So I will talk to y'all soon. I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you so much for coming out. Bye, guys.
Got these life that goes digital dreams. Through the screen, her blue eyes gleam. Wicked humor, sharp as a knife. Her stream sparks electric light. Late night when the world sleeps, she's the friend that always keeps. Giggles roll like thunder loud. She stands out in any crowd. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no alarm. Dreaming tales late into the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle, she lights the way. Her eyes hear a sky so blue. In her jokes, there's a truth so true. With each stream, she brings the light. Turns dark days into bright. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no alarm. Streaming tales late into the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle, she lights the way. Kathy's laugh